if you want to like build yourself into a learning machine who gets smarter over time, you want to learn steel manning. Straw manning is basically when you, let's say you are debating somebody about something, you're arguing about something or debating or having a conversation, and you kind of pigeonhole somebody's view into like, you kind of create this really weak version of their argument so that you can knock it over really easily, right? Like imagine a man made of straw, you could just blow it, you could just blow a gust of air and it would just fall over right away. So it's like saying, well, Sam, I know that you think that everybody just needs to shut their eyes and put their money into the Vanguard ETF no matter what. Well, no, that's not actually my argument. If you make a weak version of my argument, then yeah, it's going to be really easy to contradict it. And that's what most people do. Common person habit is when there's something you disagree with, to present their side, you present the straw man, which is the absolute weakest version of that argument. So you can knock it over and put your view in place. And what the smartest people do is the opposite. They do something called steel manning, which is even if they disagree with something, they'll go into it and they'll say, you know, people who believe that you should do X, and they'll make the strongest possible argument for that thing. Right? It's almost like an in good faith way of figuring something out. So the straw man is like a bad faith way of doing it. It's like, I'm going to kind of like cherry pick the weakest parts of your argument and present that as your full argument. And I'm going to get rid of the nuance or the context or whatever else. People who support Donald Trump, you know, the straw man is, oh, they're just racist people who, you know, hate Mexicans or whatever, right? Like they're just, you know, whatever. And the steel man version of it is, you know, some people are, the top priorities for them are their economy, especially if they live in states like Ohio and, you know, Michigan or whatever, and they've been decimated for their jobs, and they actually see that Trump is willing to invest in their jobs, and so it could actually be really great for this, and this reason. Although he says some things that are very like uncharacteristic and offensive to certain groups, he really, you know, he doesn't do a good job of that. But the pros outweigh the cons, and that would be the reason you would support Donald Trump. Steel manning is this, which is how do you understand the other person's viewpoint and actually build their argument stronger than they could build it themselves, so that it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It means you have presented the strongest case on both sides, and then you decide which one resonates with you, which one is the more true version or the more correct version that you should go with, rather than making an unfair fight.
I think that's a legitimately life-changing skill I've just learned. Not skill, but like lesson. I'm gonna start doing that.
That's one, and I think Peter Thiel does that. So it's not that he says, "Oh, some people would say this and some people would say that," so I don't know. It's he steelmans both sides of the argument, and then he decides which one he believes is the correct one.